One of the most fundamental aspects of being able to ride a bike is the ability to balance well. And when I started mountain biking, I had terrible balance. So today's quick tip is all about why balance is important and what you can do to improve it. Having bad balance caused several problems for me when I was first learning to ride. First of all, I couldn't ride slowly. Whenever I got sort of below a certain speed, I would get really unstable and wobbly and usually fall over or have to dismount quickly. Second, it was hard to get started, especially when I was on a hill. It can still be kind of challenging trying to get started up on a hill, but even slight inclines would give me quite a bit of trouble. I found it hard enough to get started that when I was on group rides and the group would decide to stop, I'd get kind of frustrated because I would want to just keep going and not have to get off the bike and then have to get it started back up again. Finally, I had a hard time with the bike just slipping and skidding underneath me. Anytime I was on some slippery terrain or I was climbing really hard and my front tire would lift up, it would mess me right up and throw me off balance. It made it very hard and frankly pretty frustrating to ride a lot of the really fun stuff that I like to ride these days. So one day I decided I wanted to improve my balance, and I did that by learning how to track stand. A track stand is when you keep your bike upright without actually moving anywhere. It's not too hard of a skill to learn, but it does take some practice. It's well worth it though. When I learned a track stand, my balance improved a ton. I don't have any problems anymore with getting started up or riding on rough terrain or riding slowly. It's also really nice to just be able to kind of stop on the trail and hesitate before going over a feature or getting up on something rough and being able to sort of ratchet your pedals a little bit to continue over it. There are a lot of great videos out there that will teach you how to track stand, but let me just tell you about a few things that were really helpful for me when I was learning. First of all, make sure you know which foot you're comfortable putting in front when you have your feet flat on the pedals. Whichever foot goes in front, that's also the direction that you should turn your front tire. Second, practice your track standing on just a little bit of an incline. You don't want anything too steep, but just enough of a hill so that you can kind of lift up on that front foot and let your bike roll backwards just a little bit. The way the track standing works is you actually maintain that side-to-side balance by pushing and lifting on that front foot just a little bit. And because your tire is turned, it kind of just rolls back and forth, side to side, so you can maintain that side-to-side balance. It's a lot easier to do when you're going up a little bit of a hill because then you can let the bike roll backwards for that motion. When I was learning, I would generally actually go up to a hill and just let the bike coast to a stop. And then when it got to a stop, I would turn the tire and get into a track stand. Third, try to do it without using any brakes. This actually makes it a little bit easier to get started because you have more control over that motion. Also, make sure you experiment a little bit with which gear you use for track standing. I like to use a gear that's sort of close to the middle of the cassette. You really want to be in a gear where you can push just the right amount and get just that right amount of movement so you can rock back and forth and maintain your balance. So experiment a little bit with gears and find the one that works for you. And finally, just have fun with it. Track standing may not be the most exciting skill, but learning to do it can actually make a huge difference out on the trail. Try timing yourself, see how long you can do it, challenge yourself to go a little bit further with it each day. Find a couple of friends who want to learn to track stand and try challenging each other or having a competition to see who can track stand the longest. Do some interesting things like that, have fun. So hey, let me know how it goes in the comments below. Make sure to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this tip and hit subscribe to keep up to date with what's coming next.